Okay, Mr. Quinn, you could begin.
Thank you very much. I'd like to call this meeting to order. May we have roll call, please, Mr. Karate?
Okay, Ms. Raccomando.
Present.
Ms. Borelli.
Present.
Ms. Ainello.
Present.
Mr. Laurentino.
Present.
Ms. Mahoney. Mr. Quinn.
Here.
Ms. Robinson.
Here.
Ms. Roloff.
Here.
Ms. Zottarelli.
Here.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
adequate notice of this meeting has been sent to all members of the Board of Education and to the Bergen Record in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, 1975. At this time, please make sure that your microphones are off in Zoom. Thank you. We will go straight to the superintendent's report, please, Ms. Shanley.
Good evening, everybody. First, I would like to call your attention to one of the items on our agenda, which is the approval of the board and district goals, which I've asked the board to approve tonight. We had a retreat about a month ago where we worked with New Jersey school boards in evaluating the district goals from last year and the board goals from last year, and then made a plan together as a team with our administrative team and the full board and our attorney present to develop goals for this year. So once they are approved, they will be posted at the top of every agenda. And that's to remind us what our goals are throughout the year. And then usually sometime in January or February, we do a mid-year update to see how we are making progress towards those goals. And then we usually revisit them next year at the retreat again. I'd like to just share with you that I did some of these things I shared on Monday. So for those of you who were here on Monday, forgive me that I'm repeating myself. On Tuesday of next week, we will be welcoming an additional 175 students into our buildings who are returning from remote instruction and joining us in the hybrid model. So those blue students and gold students will be notified, if they haven't already, which I believe many of them have, by their principals, which group they're in, and reminding them what it's like to be back in school during the COVID reopening plan. So we're excited about that because it only leaves us with 325 students approximately still fully on remote. Whereas many other Bergen County districts are 5 to 6 weeks behind us because some of them have not seen a single student in their buildings yet, but our group is growing. So I'm really excited about that. I'm also excited about the fact that we are still very healthy. We take all of the guidance, from the county and the state and Department of Health regarding sending students home for virtually everything. So it's important to know that maybe in previous years, we have like this pre-COVID life and this post-COVID or during COVID life that we live, which is very different. Prior years or prior times, we might have been a little bit more careful about why and when we would send students home, but the Department of Health is encouraging us to send students home for virtually everything and have their doctors determine whether or not they're fit to be in school. And that determination does not necessarily mean a COVID test. So although we may be sending students home more regularly, it does not mean that we've had any positive COVID students or staff members, because we have not. And if we did, you would hear from me. We already have letters prepared. So in the event we were to ever have even a single case of COVID, the entire district would be notified that we had a case and which building it was in. And then we would also do further contacting for any students who we believe might have come into contact, or faculty members who might have come into contact with the COVID positive person. So if your child came into contact you would receive 2 forms of communication from the district. So please don't believe what you hear out there. Unless somebody's hiding it from me, we are still very healthy. But what we are seeing more of, and it's making me just a little nervous, is that we've been getting more calls almost daily now, or multiple times during the day, where students or parents or faculty will tell us that they have been exposed to someone who tested positive, or exposed to someone who is being tested, and that they're self-quarantined and maybe getting tested themselves. So I think it's really important for us to remain diligent, to be on alert, to be careful, to wear our masks, to disinfect our hands, and to keep social distancing. I feel like I put my mother hat on when I say these things. I don't mean to sound that way, but the health of the school and the district depends on it. It depends on all of us doing our part and refraining from indoor gatherings and things like that outside of your own home. So our ability to remain open as a school district depends on everybody's contribution. And I hope we can count on everybody to do that. And I thank you for those of you who I know are doing a very good job. And I thank the parents who have been really forthcoming in reaching out to us and saying, well, we think we might have come into contact with someone, so to be safe, we're going to stay home for 2 weeks. That's really helpful, and that helps us to stay healthy, so thank you. For those of you who are coming back next week, and for those of you who might have forgotten, once a week for the first in-person day, parents and students will be prompted in Genesis to complete their COVID screening. It's those same basic questions that you've seen in every other COVID screening all over the place. Have you traveled to a hot state? Have you been in contact with anybody with COVID, et cetera, et cetera. It'll happen once a week digitally through Genesis. I'd like to remind everybody the importance of taking attendance and remembering that attendance needs to take place by the start of the school day. We're trying to really crack down on making sure that we keep in touch with parents about attendance, and it's important that it's done at the top of the school day. So if your child was supposed to be in school by 8, then attendance should be done by 8. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So for those of you who were present on Monday, and for those of you who spoke very passionately about your concerns about champions, it's important that you know that we listened and heard everything that you said on Monday, that the board deliberated for hours. For those of you who were around when we finally came out of closed session, you'll know that we deliberated for hours, and we attempted to make sure that we paid close attention to all of your concerns. And I wanted to share with you some updates since Monday. So you will see on tonight's agenda, if you have a version of the agenda that you printed out maybe before this evening, you're probably missing board action item number 100. And board action item 100 is the termination of the contract with Champions. As soon as legally possible, we are going to be terminating our contract with them. The other thing is that I spoke with the Bergen County Superintendent. He's a wonderful man, Mr. Delicio, and he said he would support us in any way he could as we develop an emergent plan for a short-term solution to maintaining some form of childcare for the students. Most of the times when we have plans like these, they take time, they go through approval processes and reviews, and so he agreed that he would do anything he could to help us expedite an emergent plan. I've spoken with the SBEA president regarding how we could possibly use faculty and staff potentially in the interim within our emergency plan, keeping in mind that the challenge in that for us is that teachers do work still with their students through 3 o'clock, and Champions begins before that. So we realize that it's going to be a challenge, and we're going to do the best we can with the faculty that we have to help supervise Champions, or at least oversee the before and after care while Champions is still in-house. Our law firm has, so since Monday, our law firm has spoken to the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office because we are maintaining contact with them and making sure that we are cooperating with them however it is that they need us to cooperate with them. I've personally spoken with 2 employees from the Department of Children and Families in Trenton. I spoke with them both yesterday and as well today to make sure that just to communicate with them, because they're the office that provides the licensing for the childcare that we offer, and I wanted to make sure that we were crossing every T and dotting our I's. I'm also working with Jimmy Mott. He's a regional area supervisor with Champions, and Christina Myers, who is our area manager, to transition out. I mean, usually when you have a company coming in, it takes time to transition in, but we also have to plan, and we're working on a transition out because we don't want families to be left without some form of care. They have been incredibly accommodating and professional, and they are working with us. And then tonight in closed session, I will be updating the board on a few other, we'll be discussing some things with our attorney about how we will be moving forward legally regarding the contract, et cetera. That's not really my department. That's more our attorney's department, but I wanted everybody to know that we are certainly very concerned. We share your concern. We share your worry, and we've heard everything that you said on Monday. And I reviewed the comments in the petition, and I have responded to every email that I have received. So, okay. I would like to talk about some happier things. On Monday, we offered professional development for our faculty, and I would like to thank some of the teachers at the middle and high school who actually offered PD for their colleagues. I'd like to just share some of that with you. So the Ed Puzzle PD was led by Tracy Cahoon and Dave Haas. You'll see that many of these professional development opportunities are technology driven, because these are the kinds of things that the teachers expressed that they needed support in. And so I want to thank DJ Meisch for encouraging his faculty to offer these sessions, and for coming to Tony Violetti and saying, I'd like to, jump on board with Columbus Day PD and help to offer some things for my staff. Okay, Google Classroom and its extensions led by Suzanne Ferlini and Megan Johnson. Jamboard and Plickers, I can honestly say don't know what Plickers is, but if you want to know, James Garvey and Val Militello offered that workshop. Incorporating databases into instruction was led by Ann Hazley, our media specialist. Screencastify and video editing was led by Colin Shallcross. Openness and shame resilient behavior led by Nick Milan. So I would like to thank them for stepping up and serving their colleagues. And I'd also like to thank these people for their continued work in professional development, among other things that they have been doing to keep us all afloat. And that is Sonia Otero, Tony Violetti, Mike Marr, and Patrick McGee, our tech specialist, director of curriculum, and our all things student information and data related with Sonia. But these people have been integral in helping to support this hybrid learning model. I don't think there's a parent out there who doesn't know who Mike Marr is, because he's distributed about 800 Chromebooks. And Patrick is the quiet soul who runs around and assists people with all their technology needs. But we couldn't do what we're doing to educate the children if we weren't supporting the teachers. And these are people who do it every single day, in addition to the remainder of the leadership team. And I'd like to especially thank Mrs. Violetti for filling in at Long School as the principal. She's been doing double and triple duty during Mrs. Jenkins's absence, and Mrs. Jenkins is going to return to us on Monday. So we're grateful that she's doing well and that she is coming back. I'd like to thank the Saddlebrook Police Department, specifically Lieutenant Tommy Johnson, Chief Kugler, and for the Walmart connection, because that connection and their thinking of us helped us receive $500 worth of school supplies donated to our schools from Saddlebrook Walmart. And that is the end of my official report, but if I may, Mrs. Wonder, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Great. I would like to take a moment of my report time to recognize Mrs. Dawn Donofrio and her retirement, and I've asked Mrs. Wonder if she would kindly speak on her behalf. Mrs. Donofrio, are you here?
She's there. We can see her.
Okay. Oh, I see her. There she is. Okay, great.
Okay, so thank you very much. Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to take a few moments to speak on behalf of Dawn Donofrio. Upon my arrival in Saddlebrook, Dawn was one of the very first staff members to greet me and share her programs at Smith School. To say that Dawn is passionate about music and dedicated is an understatement. Dawn lives and breathes music and shares her love with everyone. Dawn is someone who her principals over the years have described as professional, dedicated, highly well-versed in her content, and always willing to accommodate colleagues in need. As a music teacher, Dawn has done it all. She started as a part-time music teacher in 2000. I think my stats are right, but I'm sure Dawn will correct me if I'm wrong. She has worked in multiple buildings, been on a cart traveling room to room, working between 4 different schools, sharing her room with the lunchroom, teaching chorus, and then picking up band, and on and on. One principal referred to Dawn's assignment as a Herculean task and complimented her for managing and planning all of it. Dawn has been integral in helping coordinate the district-wide 3rd grade recorder concert. Anyone who has ever listened to their child practice the recorder understands that this is no easy feat, and all 3 schools get together and sound great. Dawn is also credited with starting our very own select music ensemble, the Sabertones. Her love of music is passed on to her students and is evident through all the students who continue through high school and beyond. Recently, Dawn served as a mentor for a former student who wants to follow in her footsteps and become a music teacher. It was such a special experience to see this mentorship and see how much she has inspired that student. When talking to colleagues, the highlights and accolades are endless. A few highlights include Dawn always made the winter and spring concert special for the students. She even let the students who were graduating pick the songs they wanted for their ceremony. Dawn instills a love of music in all of the children. So many of Smith School students have continued on with band, marching band, and choir at junior, senior high school because of her. In fact, many of her students also participate in the spring musical at the high school each year. I think the one thing that I will always remember is how Dawn lets the 6th graders create their own version of the 12 Days of Christmas song, and they perform it at the holiday sing-along. The kids have always loved that. Dawn is very passionate about music and always puts her heart and soul into everything she does. Another staff member recalls the times we put on full-blown musicals for the school community. We sang songs, made scenery, the parents and students made costumes, and we had a great time. I also remember lots and lots of singing with the kids and big smiles. Another one says, I've always loved the holiday sing-alongs that she organized and all of the school participated. Dawn was such an amazing colleague, teacher, and friend. I leaned on her for many things over the years, and it will not be the same now that she is retired. If I could pick one thing, it was that she would anticipate what I would forget, like a meeting, to send an email, or turn in work. So I would get a text saying, reminder, our meeting is tomorrow, or something like that. I helped her plenty, but I don't know how I will stay on track without Dawn. I will miss her. And this past spring, while we were all working from home, Dawn treated the whole Smith School community with our Monday morning announcements. Her musical family would sing a different patriotic song every week, every day after the flag salute on Mondays. It was a great way to start those weeks while at home. On a personal note, Dawn and I share many musical interests and a love of Billy Joel. She has always looped me into her ideas, musical programs, and even included me in performances. While this ending was different than you may have planned, Dawn, I can't thank you enough for welcoming me to Smith School, sharing your musical passion, and keeping the arts at the forefront of all of our minds at Smith School. As Billy Joel would say, life is a series of hellos and goodbyes, and I'm afraid it's time for goodbye again. Best of luck, and don't be a stranger.
Thank you, Deborah. That was beautiful. Thank you. I had a speech all prepared and you did better than I did.
We still want to hear your speech.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
well, first of all, I want to show everybody my plaque that I got today. Keith delivered to my house. So I wanted to thank Mrs. Shanley and the Board of Education, and of course, Keith for his delivery to my house. We had a nice conversation. Keith and I go back a long time. He's always there planning, helping us with the concerts and so forth. So it was great to have him deliver it to my house. I did write a few remarks, so if you'll bear with me, but a lot of it is redundant of what you said, Deborah. In reflecting over my 31 years as a music teacher, I've probably taught 8,000 to 9,000 students. It's quite a large number. My only hope is that I have instilled an appreciation of music in them. We are all consumers of music throughout our entire life. I know several of them have chosen music, as Mrs. Wonder had mentioned. One of my former students is now studying to become a music teacher. Whether teaching or performing, I'm very happy that they're making that their career. My career in Saddlebrook has spanned over 20 years. I've taught in 3 elementary schools, as Mrs. Wonder had said, as well as the pre-K at Washington School. And I've even taught some of those students from pre-K right through 6th grade. While I was writing this, I looked at the current Board of Ed members and I said, there's only one Board of Ed member who I haven't taught their children, because I was at Franklin, Long, and Smith throughout the years. And I've even taught my own 2 children at Franklin. Some of my fondest memories are the class plays we did over the years, working with these young students, teaching them the songs, playing piano for their performances, and watching them shine. For some of these students would never have been on a stage, if it had not been for that performance. Of course, the ultimate goal for every music teacher is the performance. I have enjoyed working with my 3rd graders in their recorder concerts, both individually and district-wide. I've loved working with my chorus students over the years. And of course, the highlight was being able to perform the select group, the select vocal ensemble, the Sabertones at Smith School. 7 years ago, the elementary music teachers' positions changed and I became a band teacher as well. I can say that I actually enjoyed the challenge after being a little apprehensive about teaching band. It was quite rewarding to work with my band students in this more intimate setting. Although I will say directing both chorus and band students in one concert was both rewarding and challenging, logistically speaking. My only regret is due to COVID-19, I did not get to say goodbye to my students, and I missed out on the metaphoric swan song performance with them. Although I will miss my students, I look forward to starting the next chapter of my life. It will be nice to travel to our Aruba timeshare in November when everyone else is in school. Thank you once again for the plaque and honoring me tonight. With my love and best wishes to everybody. And I will be back. I still want to see all my kids.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Donofrio. I've only known you a very short time, but I do remember the first day I met you. It was in the copy room at Smith School, and we had a great conversation about how much you love Andrew Lloyd Webber, and I do not. And we had a chat about that. And we talked about my children who are very involved in music and how much music has always meant to me. But I think too about why we encourage children to engage in music, and why we have dedicated music teachers in each of our buildings, and why we have such a great art program. And I think about the things that I learned from music and the things that I hope my children learn through their music, things like discipline and working with others and listening to the person who's singing right next to you. Translates into life, how your face and your expression helps you to communicate better. Things like the value of good posture and self-control and self-confidence and poise, and all of the things that you've taught how many thousands of children through your entire career. And even if they never pursue music, we hope we take those life skills with them that they learned for 7 years of their elementary career with you. It was such a pleasure working with you, and
Thank you.
Saddlebrook has been blessed with your work. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And I hope they keep it, and not like other districts that get rid of music and art.
That will not happen as long as I'm here.
Good.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Ms. Donofrio. As you know, my kids were a couple of your students, and remember you fondly. So thank you for everything you've given to my students and everybody else.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. That's the end of my report.
Okay, thank you. I guess we'll move to the business administrator's report. Mr. Crotty?
Thank you, President Quinn. I have a few items this evening, but first off, I want to apologize for Monday's my technical issues. I started giving a report and then my Wi-Fi crashed on me. So I apologize for that to the public and board. But moving on, I have some positive items and a couple little negative ones. But on the positive end, we're getting a little bit more money for the coronavirus relief for monies we're spending on, PPE and barriers and so forth. We got, the original monies through the CARES Act was back in, I think it was May, June, $187,000. But shortly after that, we've noticed, we got notice on our loss in state aid of 120,000. So where we got 187, the state took back 120. Still on the plus end, but that's used for, like I said, PPE and maybe some special ed costs during this pandemic. So a couple weeks ago, we got notice that we received the coronavirus relief grant allocation of $81,127. So again, great news, because we are spending a lot of money. I think we're in the neighborhood of about $140,000 that we've spent on PPE and barriers and a lot of other things. So it's well needed, and it's great to have. For special ed costs, we got another good news. It's a variable state aid. We budget for certain monies, and it depends when we file for it. Its costs over a certain threshold. It's called extraordinary aid. This year, the state did have more funds, so we were able to get more funds. The formula was funded not at 100%, but a higher percentage. We just got word that they changed that formula and they increased the percentage, so we got another 50,000 in that area. So again, more good news for our special ed costs. One negative item, or bond rating. I went through a call end of August with S&P to rate our school bonds. We're used to finance larger projects like renovations or new school buildings and capital items. They saw over the last few years, if you've been around at our meetings with our audit, we've been using some surplus funds to balance the school year out. A lot of unanticipated special ed costs, and they saw that decline. They had a call. This is not just unique to Saddlebrook; it's a lot of districts. So I told them what was going on, and we're making some changes, and we should start swinging the other way. But there was nothing they could do. So again, I don't know all the bond ratings, but we went from an A to an A+. It sounds like it's better, but it's really a negative in the bond world. So they will revisit that again and see how we're doing, and hopefully we're swinging the right way. Like I said, we are making changes to some special ed some areas and hopefully, could save some funding there. Another item I want to thank Mr. Matt Martinez. I think he's on this meeting. He had a meeting today with all their SBA members. I think maybe some custodians were on, and also paraprofessionals that for benefits. Him and the NJA did a presentation. The state put forward a change in working with the NJA. They got it approved. Is to try to help the staff with the special ed costs. As you know, health benefits increase drastically every year to year, and the staff pays a percentage of those premiums. So they're trying to get it back where they set up a new plan where you pay on, based on your salary, but they reduced the state offering of maybe having about 15 plans. They narrowed it down now to 3.
You're not muted.
Plan.
You have to.
Hold on one second. Okay. Has a lot of changes. We're going through a pandemic now. Everybody's anxious, and you don't need this to go through as well. So I gave out whatever information I had earlier in the month. We're doing an open enrollment period like everybody else is that in the state plan. But it was a good workshop today. I think there's about 70 people on it almost. And again, I want to thank Matt for that. And I want to reach out to him, and we'll get some more information out to the staff so they can make informed decisions before the end of the month. For the board, I like scheduling emails to go out, so I was a little off on the time now, but you received an email from me at 7:15 tonight about the virtual New Jersey School Board Workshop. Usually we'd be going down to Atlantic City for the school board workshop, but that's virtual this year. I don't know what they're going to provide. They have some speakers set up. They want to do a live convention exhibit hall. I don't know how they're going to do that, but it should be interesting. I don't know how they're going to give away the free logo pens through the computer, but we'll see what happens there. But that's next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So you have an email with some information I got from the website on when workshops are, times, the topic, and the days they're on, and also an FAQ document for questions you may have. If you have any information, you should have received emails where you could set up your account and log in there. Let me know if you have any issues. And I think that concludes all my items. Thank you.
Thanks, Ray.
Thank you very much, Mr. Crowdy. May I have a motion to open the meeting for public comment on agenda items only?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we're opening, please public remember for agenda items only at this point. There will be a time at the end of the meeting for non-agenda items. And please try and raise your hand from the going in at the bottom center of your screen. Residents are requested to state their names, addresses, and subject matter. In the event it appears the public comment portion of the meeting may exceed 45 minutes, the presiding officer may limit each statement made by a participant to 5 minutes duration. Issues raised by members of the public may or may not be responded to by the board. All comments will be considered and a response will be forthcoming if and when appropriate. The board asks that members of the public be courteous and mindful of the rights of other individuals when speaking. Specifically, comments regarding students and employees of the board are discouraged and will not be responded to by the board. Students and employees have specific legal rights afforded by the laws of New Jersey. The board bears no responsibility, nor will it be liable for any comments made by members of the public. Members of the public should consider their comments in light of the legal rights of those affected or identified in their comments and be aware that they are legally responsible and liable for those comments. Okay, Mr. Crotty, do we have anybody wishing to speak?
I do not see any hands up at this time. Again, this is for agenda items only.
Okay, if I speak?
Thomas Van Winkle.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Yes, Thomas Van Winkle, 128 Lincoln Avenue. I know it's on the agenda. I just want to congratulate Mrs. Donna Frio on her retirement. I was one of her many students over the years. I fondly remember all the concerts at the high school, all the times we sang Billy Joel. I remember how much of a Billy Joel fan you were. I do like Billy Joel myself. I think I do attribute it to your music classes. Also, I do fondly remember all the times we sang at, well, my brother and I sang at Paramus Park for before the holidays. So just want to wish you all the best in your retirement. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have anybody else with a hand up or looking like they want to speak, Mr. Crowdy?
I do not see any.
Okay. Then may I have a motion to close for public comment?
So move.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, thank you very much. We're moving to board action items, B95 through B100. And this is where one item, it's a board goals, district goals, and item 100, again, as Ms. Shanley had stated, is approving the termination of the board's contract with Champions, date TBD, subject to attorney review. May I have a motion?
So move.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay. Roll call, please, Mr. Crowdy. Actually, is there any comment before we do that? Discussion, questions? Seeing none, we have a roll call, please, Mr. Crowdy.
Okay, we're going to start with Ms. Borelli tonight. Ms. Borelli?
Yes.
Ms. Ianello?
Yes.
Mr. Laurentino?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Roloff?
Yes.
Ms. Zottarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes to all except for August 26th. No, I was not there. And I'm going to abstain from B96 because I was not there.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes. I also just wanted to state for the public that we have pulled the September 16th, 2020 regular meeting minutes. They have been tabled for this meeting.
Yeah, thanks. I was just going to state that. Sorry.
Moving on to education and curriculum, items E92 through E97. May I have a motion to approve those following items?
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions, discussion? Seeing none, may we have roll call, please, Mr. Crowdy?
Okay, well, just check on. Okay, Ms. Borelli?
Yes.
Ms. Ianello?
Yes.
Mr. Laurentino?
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Roloff?
Yes.
Ms. Zottarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes. We'll now move to finance, budget, and facilities. Ms. Roloff, please.
Good evening. At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items: F346 through F354.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Are there any questions or discussion on these items? Seeing none, roll call, please, Mr. Crowdy.
Ms. Borelli?
Yes.
Ms. Ianello?
Yes to all except for I'm going to abstain from F346.
Mr. Laurentino?
Yes to all, but I'll also abstain from F346.
Ms. Mahoney?
Yes to all, but I'll abstain from F346. Check number 57925.
Ms. Robinson?
Yes.
Ms. Roloff?
Yes.
Ms. Zottarelli?
Yes.
Mr. Accomando?
Yes.
Mr. Quinn?
Yes. We'll move to policy now. Ms. Ianello, please.
Hi, everyone. Okay, at the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items. The approval of the second reading of the following policy P164,
2.03, the Restart and Recovery Plan full-time instruction.
Second.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions or discussion regarding this item? Seeing none, may we have a roll call, please, Mr. Karati?
Okay, Ms. Borelli,
Yes.
Ms. Ainello,
Yes.
Mr. Laurentino,
Yes.
Ms. Mahoney,
Yes.
Ms. Robinson,
Yes.
Ms. Roloff,
Yes.
Ms. Otterelli,
Yes.
Mr. Raccomando,
Yes.
Mr. Quinn.
Yes. Seeing we have nothing under negotiations for this evening, we'll move to personnel. Mr. Accomando, please.
Sure. Good evening. At the recommendation of the superintendent, I make a motion to approve the following items: P558 to P836.
Second.
Okay.
Okay, do we have any questions,
I want
comments?
to make note about the numbering, how the numbering might have been off.
Yeah, I'm just going to state that. So I think if the public has the item, the last three items have to be renumbered. There'll be two 833, so it's going to be 834, 835, and 836, the last three items.
Thank you, Mr. Crowdy. Does anyone have any questions, comments, discussion?
Make a comment?
Yes.
I'd like to make a comment on P819. I'd like to wish the employee the best of luck in his new endeavor, wherever he's going. As Board of Education, it would be nice to keep the best educators that we find. Unfortunately, in my opinion, I think we're losing a good one. So say with his future endeavors, I just hope he finds success and that we find somebody as good as he is in a replacement.
Thank you very much. Any other comments? And I'll second your opinion, Mr. Laurentino. I think Mr. Searles will be greatly missed at the middle school and high school. At this time, will we have roll call, please, Mr. Crotty?
Ms. Borelli,
Yes.
Ms. Ainello,
Yes to all, but I'm going to abstain from P828, P831, and P834.
Mr. Laurentino,
Yes to all, but I'm going to abstain from P831 and P834.
Ms. Mahoney,
Yes.
Ms. Robinson,
Yes.
Ms. Roloff,
Yes.
Ms. Otterelli,
Yes.
Mr. Accomando,
Yes to all except for P830 and P834.
is that no on those two?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Quinn.
Yes. We'll now move on to committee reports. I know it's been kind of different doing this year with everything, but does anyone have any reports from committees? Seeing none, is there any liaison reports for tonight? Yes, Ms. Ainello.
Okay. For the PTO, the middle school, high school PTO, just want to let you know that candidates night has been canceled. The PTO will post statements from the candidates to the PTO page by Friday, hopefully. And the next meeting for the PTO will be on November 23rd at 7 p.m. via Zoom.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Seeing none, we'll move to correspondence. Is there any correspondence for this evening?
No.
Any old business? New business?
Through the chair,
Yes.
I'm going to assume this is new business. Before we close, I just want to wish all the candidates running for Board of Ed good luck, as well as Town Council.
Thank you. I keep forgetting it's that close to elections, actually.
I know, it's so close. I forgot. I didn't realize it.
It feels like it's still September. I'm sure not to all the teachers and administration that's actually keeping the schools running for us, however. Okay.
Mr. Quinn, could I I just say something? I forgot to mention, Mrs. Lamboy did ask me to extend an invitation to any of the middle or high school administrators or district administrators who are interested in joining the PTO meeting, and to let us know that we're always welcome if we're available to join. So I thank her for that. And I also would like to wish all of the candidates good luck running for Board of Education. And I'd like to thank Mr. Searles for his service to the district. He will be missed.
Can I just say something?
Yes.
Good luck, Miss Donna Frio, in your retirement. And I was going to play Hot Cross Buns for you, but I decided not to because I heard it enough for my kids. But thank you for teaching them that wonderful instrument. Good luck. And good luck on the election, everybody.
Thank you, Ms. Roloff. Anyone else? Okay, I'll just echo. Good luck to everybody in the election. Hopefully it's all goes smooth. At this point, may I have a motion to open?
Oh, wait, through the chair, question.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Being that it's such a tricky year, what if the count isn't in by the time we need board members? What happens?
Let's not go there at this point. It's a good question. I'm sure people with a much higher pay grade than mine are considering that option.
I'm sure we'll get direction.
We'll probably have direction from the Board of Elections or something.
Okay.
Jessica's saying you're muted.
I'm not worried. You'll have by sometime in December. Because remember, you also don't have to meet every single month.
Yeah.
So I don't think that they're going to say, well, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be okay. Anybody else before we move? Okay, may I have a motion, please, to open the meeting for public comments?
Motion.
Motion. Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we are now open to the public. Again, please go to the center button to raise your hands. Here we go. Residents are requested to state their names, addresses, and subject matter. In the event it appears the public comment portion of the meeting may exceed 45 minutes, the presiding officer may limit each statement made by a participant to 5 minutes duration. Issues raised by members of the public may or may not be responded to by the board. All comments will be considered and a response will be forthcoming if and when appropriate. The board asks that members of the public be courteous and mindful of the rights of other individuals when speaking. Specifically, comments regarding students and employees of the board are discouraged and will not be responded to by the board. Students and employees have specific legal rights afforded by the laws of New Jersey. The board bears no responsibility, nor will it be liable for any comments made by members of the public. Members of the public should consider their comments in light of the legal rights of those affected or identified in their comments and be aware that they are legally responsible and liable for their comments. Okay, Mr. Crotty, you let us know who wants to speak.
Okay, at this moment, I'm not seeing anybody raising their hand.
Okay, we'll just give them another couple of seconds in case they're just having difficulties getting to the hand raise.
While we're waiting for hands, could I just say something I forgot?
Sure.
So Mrs. Violetti shared with me today that she is working on organizing parent professional development for Linkit. Is that still happening? So Friday afternoon, and then you will be sending out an email so that parents can join. So she's offering that so that parents who are going to be overseeing so that parents can learn more about Linkit, which is our benchmarking tool and progress monitoring tool. And so thank you, Mrs. Violetti, for offering that.
I think that's an excellent idea. And yes, thank you very much for offering that. I think that's a wonderful thing. And I hope all of our parents will take advantage of this offering.
And see, now we have two hands.
Yes.
There we go.
So first, we'll have Jessica Corinne.
Hi, everyone. I just want to say on behalf of the Smith School PTO, congratulations, Ms. Donofrio. Thank you for everything that you've done for us. You're just top notch, and we just wish you all the best. And I just wanted to come on and say that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll have Lacey Fitzgerald.
Hi, Lacey Fitzgerald Trungone, 186 Colonial Ave. I just had a quick question and a comment. First, obviously I said a few things on Monday, and I wanted to say thank you to the board and to Mrs. Shanley for taking us, you know, what we had to say to heart. It definitely seems like it landed, and really appreciate it. So thank you. Second, I'm not sure if I missed this, but when can we expect to hear some type of email or plan for, you know, when that next step, that plan is going to be rolled out with champions? And
as soon as I have one.
Okay.
So we are working on a transition. There's work to be done. There are details to be finalized, and we will definitely share that with you as soon as those essentials are in place.
Okay, thank you.
Next, we have Beth Lamboy.
This is the Zoom meeting. Sorry about that. So I just wanted to wish Miss Donofrio all the best. Oh, sorry, Beth Lamboy, 138 Skillman Terrace. This is private and PTO comment. Miss Donofrio, we just want to wish you all the best. You've had an impact on probably everybody in town. You had Nicholas way back when. So we wish you the best of luck. Best of luck to all the candidates running. What's that? Oh, sorry. Somebody else was speaking. Good luck to all the candidates. Look forward to reading all your statements once I receive them and we get them posted.
I think you froze.
Oh no, we lost you, Beth.
When you get yourself reset, hopefully it won't take too long. Just come back.
Oh, wait, she's coming back a little bit.
Beth, are you with us? Okay, why don't we go to somebody else, and hopefully Beth will be able to circle back to us.
Okay, next we have Sarah.
Hi, Sarah Melnicki, 102 Claremont Ave. I also just wanted to, what Lacey had said, I just want to thank you for listening to us and the Franklin parents, especially on Monday night. We really, we're very grateful that, our kids are coming first. So, and also, I know my children didn't have Mrs. Donofrio, but she is an awesome neighbor, so I just want good luck in her retirement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, there's Beth. She's back.
Yay.
Okay.
It's the benefits and the downsides of Zoom. I'll just say everything all over again because I don't know what got through. Just wanted to wish Ms. Donofrio the best of luck. She had a great impact on my littlest one when he was in preschool. We just wish you all the best. Thank you for everything. Good luck to all the candidates. We look forward to reading your statements once we receive them. And wish everybody luck getting through all the counting of the ballots during the election season. And thank you to the board for listening to all the parents and expressing the concern. Everybody's concern definitely came through this meeting, and it's much appreciated. And Tony?
Oh no.
She was going to school you.
That was it. You were almost in trouble.
I hope it was positive.
Oh no, maybe she'll come back.
Okay, let's just remember where she ended was Antony.
Antony, right.
So she can pick up right at that spot.
Okay, okay.
Who do we have next, Ray?
Nobody right now.
Okay. We'll give Beth just a minute.
Wait, we do have one. I got Mary Schwartz.
I'd like to say something as well.
Okay, we'll go.
I'm going to speak as the one other member of our department here. I commend Tommy for starting it, and believe it or not, I was too shy to say anything until now, so I had to work up my courage. So I want to say to Dawn, how you've been an amazing colleague. And she actually came in the middle of my second year. And I was, you know, I was still kind of getting used to this job as well. But at the time, I did band and she did classroom music, and we saw each other all the time, and we talked, and we also became friends. And I taught her children, and she also advised me when my son was in an elementary school and he had no interest in school, and she advised me that don't worry, he'll snap out of it. He's a boy. And that did come to pass, and he's 24 now and he's doing very well in life. And I think Deborah kind of alluded to this earlier, but Dawn was like the other half of my brain, and she knew what I was going to forget, like when a meeting was, or to send an email. And she would call me, and she kept me together. And the other thing that's amazing, she always knew which year it was of our recorder concert. She'd say, well, this is our 10th year. And she always knew whose turn it was to type the program. I said, I do not know how any human can remember this. So anyway, I am going to miss you so much. I mean, you live right down the road from Franklin School, thank goodness. So I'll still see you, but I will miss you, and I'll miss our talks about professional things, and I wish you all the best. And I'm going to hang around a few more years, but I'll see you. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
I think Marcia.
Yeah, next is Marcia.
Hold on. You hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Miss Donofrio, or Dawn. I still call her Miss Donofrio. I've worked with Dawn for quite a few years. I just will read what I wrote to Mrs. Wonder. Alexis and Taylor still remember you, your greeting song, and sing it at times. Thanks for making Alexis stick with playing the clarinet, although she was not interested in it at all. She did stick with it as she could, and I thank you for that. Thank you for all you did for Smith School students and my daughters. Congratulations, relax, and enjoy the ride. You deserve it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And if Mrs. Lamboy is not back, she sent me a message and she said, and Tony will be happy to have one less job. And thanks you for stepping in at Long and helping the families at Long School.
Thank you. Do we have any more hands, Mr. Crotty?
I don't see any more hands up.
Okay, well, you take one last look. The future board meetings, the next board meetings is November 16th is the caucus meeting at 7 p.m. and November 18th at 7 p.m. is our regular meeting. Still no one, Mr. Crotty?
I do.
Oh.
I just want to say thank you to everyone who came today for all your comments. I'm sitting here crying. Mary, I love you. I'll be here, Mary, to tell you what year the recorder concert is. Don't worry.
Well, thank God for that, because if I don't have that information, I don't know how I could go on.
But thank you, everybody. I have enjoyed all my years in Saddlebrook, and I'm around. I will go to the concerts when we can do concerts again. And you can always call on me. So thank you to everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you did.
And I just say, Dawn, I don't look at you as a teacher because I met you as a parent. Our kids are still friends, but I wish you all the best. I'm sure I'll be seeing and talking to you. And Mary, you blew me away. 24, your son. I'm going to go cry.
All right, do we have any more hands, Mr. Crotty?
No, we don't have any more hands up right now. Let me just check.
Okay, at that, may I have a motion to close the meeting for public comment?
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, great. At this point, need a motion to recess to close executive session to discuss attorney-client matters as per NJSA 10-4-6, Open Public Meetings Act. Subject matter discussed may be disclosed to the public if and when the need for confidentiality no longer exists. Action will not be taken when the board reconvenes in open session. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, thank you. And may I have a motion to adjourn the open meeting?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank everyone for coming here. Thank you for all the wonderful comments from Ms. Donofrio. It's really nice when somebody's been here a long time and is so greatly appreciated. Do we have the link sent out for closed session at this point, Mr. Crotty?
Yes, I sent it.
Yes. She sent
Thank
it
you very
out.
much. Have a fabulous month, everyone.